Let me ask you something. Have you ever done everything right, texted her first, complimented her, planned thoughtful dates, only to feel like she's slipping away? You start questioning yourself. Was I not enough? Did I say something wrong? Was it something I didn't do? But the truth is, it's not about what you did, it's about what you are. Because female desire doesn't respond to effort, it responds to energy, to presence, to who you are when you're not trying. And most men were never taught this. You see, modern men are raised with a transactional mindset. If I do X, I'll get Y. If I say the right thing, she'll stay. If I avoid mistakes, I'll be loved. But desire doesn't work like that. It's not a contract, it's a current. And like any current, you don't control it by pushing harder. You guide it by who you are. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricks or techniques. This is about alignment between your mind, your actions, and your essence. In this video, we're going deep, deeper than dating tips or psychology hacks. We're exploring 5 powerful hidden truths about female desire that no one talks about. And we're going to decode them through the timeless lens of Stoicism. Because Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable. And a man who is unshakable is unforgettable. This isn't about chasing. It's about becoming. 1. Presence over attention. She doesn't crave your compliments. She craves your awareness. In a world filled with noise, attention has become cheap. Anyone can comment, "You're beautiful," under her photo. Anyone can swipe right. Anyone can flood her inbox. But presence, true presence, that's rare. That's sacred. It's when a man sits across from her and actually sees her, not just her makeup, her hair, or the way she laughs at your jokes, but the subtleties, the stillness between her words, the fatigue behind her smile. Presence is not about doing, it's about being grounded, emotionally calm, tuned in, not rushing to talk, not trying to fix, not performing. You see, when a man is fully present, he communicates something without words. I am here. I am not afraid of you. I am not distracted. You are safe to be seen. That is magnetic. Stoicism teaches us you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Presence is mastery over your attention. It's the choice to remain still when the world tells you to react. It's the discipline to observe rather than chase. It's the power to look into her chaos without being consumed by it. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly listened to you, without checking their phone, without waiting for their turn to talk, without an agenda? That kind of presence is almost extinct, and that's why it's so valuable. In a digital world, attention is abundant, but presence is the new luxury. So here's a question for you. When you're with her, are you truly there? Or are you still stuck in your head, your past, your phone? A woman can feel that difference, and the man who masters presence masters connection. 2. Purpose over performance. She doesn't want to be your destination. She wants to walk beside a man who knows where he's going. When you lack direction, your life becomes reactive. You say yes too easily. You tolerate things you shouldn't. You live waiting for the weekend, for a message back, for someone to make you feel like a man. But a man with purpose, he doesn't wait. He moves, not to impress, but because something within him is pulling him forward. Purpose is not about having a grand mission to save the world. Sometimes it's as simple as doing your work well, showing up when it's hard, choosing growth over comfort. A man with purpose has weight, not loudness, not flash, but depth. She doesn't crave perfection. She craves orientation. She wants to feel that when she steps into your world, she's stepping into a current that already existed, with or without her. Stoicism says, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus. That's purpose. Not waiting for approval, not waiting for confidence, just choosing what aligns with your nature and acting from that place. That's the paradox. The less you seek her attention, the more drawn she is. Because now, you're no longer orbiting her. You've become your own gravity. 3. Emotional fluidity. You ever been with a woman and felt like one moment she's sunshine, and the next she's distant, irritable, maybe even cold? You start thinking, did I mess up? Was it something I said? Or worse, is she losing interest? But here's the truth most men don't realize. It's not always about you. In fact, most of the time, it's not. A woman's emotions are not a straight line. They're more like the ocean, vast, wild, and constantly in motion. One day it's calm. The next, the waves rise. Not because something is wrong, but because that's how she connects to the world. The feminine doesn't move in logic. It moves in rhythm. She feels life through her skin, her breath, her senses. She's tuned into the subtle, the shifting, the invisible. But here's where most men fail. They try to manage her moods like a problem to solve. And in doing so, they stop being a man and start acting like a technician. What she truly wants is not a fixer, but a witness. Someone who can hold space for her chaos without flinching. Someone who doesn't panic when the waters rise. A stoic man doesn't suppress emotion. He studies it. He observes it without becoming it. He is not disturbed by another storm because he has weathered his own. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In that strength, a woman feels something rare. Trust. Trust that she doesn't have to tone herself down just to be loved. Trust that she can be loud, wild, even messy, and still be held. Let's be real. A lot of men were raised to believe that emotions equals weakness. So when they see emotional expression in a woman, they either retreat or shut her down. But here's the paradox. The more emotionally unstable a man is, the less capable he is of holding space for hers. If your mood shifts every time hers does, she loses trust, not just in you, but in her own safety. But when you stand rooted, not cold, not distant, but steady, you become something very rare, a man who makes her feel safe to feel. And in that space, desire isn't just born, it's reborn again and again. 4. Emotional safety. You might think she wants excitement, drama, unpredictability. And yes, chaos can be thrilling for a moment, but it doesn't build anything lasting. Because what the feminine truly desires, at the deepest level, is not drama. It's safety, not comfort, not boredom, but emotional safety. The safety to be raw, to be seen in her storm, and not be met with judgment, punishment, or distance. Safety is what allows her to soften, to stop performing, to surrender. But let's be clear, this isn't about coddling, it's about capacity. Can you hold her full emotional expression without needing to fix, withdraw, or defend yourself? When she's vulnerable, can you stay open? When she's angry, can you stay calm? When she cries, can you remain present? Because most men weren't taught how to hold space for a woman's heart. They were taught to fix it, or man up, or walk away. But the man grounded in Stoicism, he understands that storms are part of nature, and love is not about control, it's about containment. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." If your emotional state depends on her mood, you have no port, you drift. Emotional safety comes from self-anchoring, from knowing yourself so deeply that no matter how high her waves rise, you remain unshaken. You don't repress, you don't explode, you remain grounded. And that groundedness is what makes her feel free. 5. Self-mastery is magnetic. What truly captivates a woman is not how much you want her, but how much you've mastered yourself. Most men are ruled by their urges. They chase every thrill, every curve, every moment of validation. But desire without direction is just chaos. Mastery isn't about being cold. It's about being so deeply rooted that your energy becomes intentional. You don't act out of scarcity. You don't seek to be chosen. You choose yourself first. The man who can delay gratification, the man who can feel desire without being consumed by it, that man emits a different frequency. She feels it. She doesn't see it with her eyes, but her body knows. This man isn't starving, he's centered. Stoicism doesn't suppress desire, it channels it. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To be free is not to feel nothing, it is to feel everything, and still choose your response. The man who practices self-mastery becomes irresistible, not because he dominates others, but because he dominates his inner world. The Stoic lover. So now you know, her deepest desires don't live in words or gestures. They live in energy, in presence, in depth. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs you to be anchored, not cold, not robotic, but rooted, awake, alive. A Stoic lover is not a man without emotion. He is a man who is not enslaved by emotion. He doesn't run from her storm, and he doesn't worship her sunshine. He simply stays. He walks through the fire, not to prove something, but because his soul is forged in flame. He doesn't chase love, because he becomes love, in his stillness, in his strength, in his silence. He listens more than he speaks. He leads without forcing. He loves without losing himself. And because of that, he becomes unforgettable. So if you've ever wondered, what do women really want? Maybe the answer is simpler than you think. They want to feel you, not your mask. They want your edge, your clarity, your truth. They want to know that behind the eyes, there's a man who's done the inner work, a man who isn't just surviving life, but living it with purpose. That's the Stoic lover. And that man, he doesn't need to pursue, because the world naturally moves toward his gravity. If this message spoke to something inside you, consider subscribing. We're building more than a channel here. We're building a brotherhood. And if you found value in this video, a like goes a long way.